All right, let's get right into it. We're going to unpack one of the biggest head-scratchers on Wall Street right now, Intel's massive stock crash. I mean, the company comes out with what looks like great news, and what happens? Investors just kick it to the curb. So the big question for all of us is this a huge buying opportunity, or is it a trap just waiting to snap shut?
So Intel just turned in its report card for the quarter, and you know what? On the surface, it looked like they got a solid B+. I mean, they didn't just meet expectations, they crushed them. A big beat on both profit and revenue.
But then you look at the market's reaction, and it was an absolute F. The stock just got hammered, plummeting in one of its worst single-day drops in a long, long time. We're talking billions of dollars in value, just gone.
So what gives? A great report card on paper, but a massive crash in reality. This is the exact puzzle we're going to piece together today. So let's dive in and start by looking at what the bulls, the optimists, are seeing in all this. Okay, let's start with a bull case. This is the argument that says this crazy drop is actually a golden opportunity. And believe it or not, the bulls are looking at that very same earnings report and finding some really good stuff.
So, what are the bright spots? Well, the bull case really hangs its hat on the AI chip division. Yeah, sure, overall computer chip sales were kind of meh, they were down, but this one segment, the AI part of the business, it showed some serious muscle. We're not just talking growth, we're talking re-accelerating revenue growth. And look at those margins. They jumped from 16% to 26%. For the bulls, this is the future engine of the whole company.
But you know, for a lot of the long-term believers, this whole thing isn't really about one quarter's numbers. It goes way deeper. It's about Intel's role as what's called a national security stock.
And this is a really big deal. The thinking goes like this. America absolutely needs to bring its advanced chip manufacturing back home from places like Taiwan. It's a strategic imperative. And who's the chosen champion to lead this charge? It's Intel. They've got serious government backing for this mission. So if you're an investor who buys into this vision, you're willing to put up with some short-term pain because you're betting on a huge long-term payoff for the country and for the company.
And when we say a long-term payoff, here's what the analysts think that could actually look like. They're projecting a pretty dramatic turnaround in profits. I mean, look at this. They see earnings per share going from negative in 2025 all the way up to almost $2 by 2028. That's the kind of explosion in profitability they're betting on as this new strategy really kicks in.
Okay, so that's the bull case. It's a pretty compelling American comeback story, right? But what if that bright future is just a fantasy? What if the numbers, right here, right now, are telling a much, much scarier story? Let's flip the coin and look at the bear case. You see, the real reason for that 17% crash, it wasn't about what Intel just did. It was all about what they said they're going to do. It's all about the guidance, their forecast for the future. And frankly, it was bleak. That's what really sent investors running for the hills.
And let's get into the ugly details. First, the guidance. Analysts were expecting a profit, and Intel basically said, nope, we're going to be break-even. That's a huge miss. Then there's the new foundry business, right? The centerpiece of their comeback plan. Well, it's burning through cash with a staggering negative 55% operating margin. And to pay for all this, they're selling off chunks of the company, which means existing shareholders' pieces of the pie get smaller.
Okay, so all of that brings us to what might be the single biggest red flag for the bears. The valuation. It's just astronomical. And the way we measure this, the go-to metric, is something called the price-to-earnings ratio, or PE ratio.
Now, to really get a handle on how wild this is, let's put it in perspective. Here's the PE ratio for NVIDIA, the undisputed king of AI right now. It's at 45, pretty high. And now, here's Intel's. And no, that is not a typo. You are seeing that correctly. It's trading at over 1,300 times its earnings. It's just off the charts. I mean, that number is so extreme, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. It actually led one analyst to say this, and it's pretty blunt. This is worse than Tesla, worse than really almost anyone that I've seen before. That just shows you how disconnected the stock price is from the actual business.
And this slide right here really boils down the entire bear case into one sentence. You have a company valued by the market at over $250 billion that's making just $200 million in profit. That huge gap between the price tag and the actual earnings, that's what has the bears so worried.
So how can both of these stories be true at the same time? You've got the bull case, which is all about a patriotic, prosperous future, and you've got the bear case, which is about a frankly terrifying present.
Well, it all comes down to understanding that there are two very different games being played in the market. Think about it like this. On one hand, you've got the trader. The trader sees a 17% drop and thinks, hey, maybe the market overreacted. I can buy this dip and sell it on a quick bounce for a profit. Their entire game is about short-term price moves. But then you have the investor. The investor looks at that 1300 PE ratio, the declining business, and sees a wildly overpriced company that they wouldn't want to own for the long haul. They're playing a completely different game.
And this quote really says it all. You can day trade it, but that's a world away from investing in it. This person says they would never ever invest in Intel at these prices. And that's the key takeaway here. A stock can be a fantastic short-term trade and at the exact same time be a horrible long-term investment. The two ideas can exist at once.
All right, so we've looked at the bulls with their comeback story vision and the bears who are laser-focused on the fundamentals. So what's the final takeaway? What does this all mean for you?
Well, here it is, the whole debate laid out on one slide. On the opportunity side, you've got the strong AI chip growth and that big national security story. It's all about a promise for the future. But on the trap side, you have the brutal reality of today. Terrible guidance, a core business that's shrinking, a sky-high valuation, and a new division that's losing billions. It's the future versus the now.
So in the end, whether Intel is an opportunity or a trap really just depends on the lens you're looking through. It depends on your time frame, your goals, and ultimately, your answer to this one question. Is the promise of an American-made future enough to justify a price that seems totally disconnected from reality today?